A state funeral was held for former Indonesian President B J Habibie this afternoon. He was Indonesia's third president.
Thousands lined the streets to pay their respects as his body was carried to the Heroes Cemetery in South Jakarta. President Joko Widodo led the burial ceremony.
Professor Habibie died from heart failure yesterday evening. He succeeded Mr. Suharto as president in 1998, but only held office briefly until 1999. Our correspondent Saifullah Ismail tells us more about the legacy he leaves behind.
Habibie's presidency was at a time when Indonesia was hit badly by the Asian financial crisis. Habibie, who was an aeronautical engineer and is known as the father of technology in Indonesia, will be remembered for steering the nation's economy during that difficult period and stabilizing the rupiah. Habibie turned to economic technocrats to deal with the financial crisis. This resulted in an agreement with the International Monetary Fund, allowing the budget deficit to widen further while new funds were pumped into the economy. Within the time span of a couple of months, there were some signs of recovery. The rupiah began to strengthen from mid-June 1998. Inflation eased drastically. The Jakarta Stock Exchange started to rise and non-oil exports started to revive towards the end of the year. Indonesia's economy improved gradually through 1999, partly due to an improving international environment, which caused the rise in export revenues. In foreign relations with neighbors, Habibie was best known to Singaporeans for describing the city-state as being no more than a little red dot. It caused an outcry in Singapore as it was seen as a dismissal of the country, but Habibie denied that was his intention. The term was quickly adopted by both Singaporean politicians and ordinary citizens who used the term to showcase the nation's success despite its limitations.
Tributes are pouring in for the former Indonesian president. Singapore leaders extended their condolences to Mr. Ilham Akbar Habibie over the death of his father. Singapore President Halimah Yacob said Professor Habibie had been steadfast in his service to Indonesia and in his efforts to improve the lives of all Indonesians.
Meanwhile, Singapore Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong said Professor Habibie had led his country during a difficult period of transition. Mr. Lee added that Professor Habibie had worked hard to stabilize Indonesia following the 1997 Asian financial crisis with a view to improve the lives of all Indonesians.